So I defeated Tombot. Tom was on blue, red, Splinter Twin, and he Splash Green for Ancient Grudge out of the board.
Yep, most of the decks do that.
Yeah, so no Goyf from Tombot.
Yeah, I mean, most of them play a single Stomping Ground or Breeding Pool just for the backside of Ancient Grudge, because affinity can be an issue. I know I did that at GP Vancouver.
Yep.
Not that it helped. I lost to affinity twice. So.
Yeah, they were close games. Basically, you never drew the twin.
Yep.
That's how it went down.
Yeah, that can certainly be a way to go. That's a really interesting match, actually, Affinity versus Splinter Twin. I really enjoy playing that. That's one I could see myself just keeping proxy versions of the deck and coming back 5 years from now and
just so you can experience
just so I experience that sort of just that match is a lot of fun. It's like playing Cold Blade Mirrors. I'll go back and play Cold Blade Mirrors anytime someone wants. So
yeah, nice. I don't know. I guess we'll skip ahead.
Yeah, so what happened in the other brackets as well?
Oh yeah, let's go check it out. Alright, so we had Ty Sellens versus Brett Harris. I believe Ty Sellens bested Brett.
Yeah, Ty Sellens was victorious in that matchup.
Yeah, he was on just a burn deck.
Ty was, yeah.
Ty's on
burn deck, yep.
I think Brett might have been Abzan as well.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
I'm not sure though. Oh no, Brett was Blue-White Tron.
Blue-White Tron. Okay, yeah, that deck's actually been putting up some numbers online of late. And of course the burn deck is just very good right now. It's never been better than this.
Yeah. And
it's just amazing the amount of tools that deck has and the amount of games that you can get shut out of on turn 2 by an Eidolon. And
well, since the last Modern season it gained Eidolon, Attacker's Command,
Monastery Swiftspear,
Skullcrack.
Well, Skullcrack was in last season.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a strict upgrade to Skullcrack, which is one of its best cards already.
Yeah.
Eidolon of the Great Revel is a huge pickup for that deck, and Monastery Swiftspear giving you a secondary Goblin Guide is amazing.
Yeah.
Just the consistency of having a turn 1 threat, having 8 in your deck is a big improvement.
Huge. Yeah, and then Tim beat Zheng Yi in the Red-Green Tron Mirror. They were the only 2 Red-Green Tron players. I bet Zheng Yi. I defeated Zheng Yi in the Swiss. And that was really close games. So, alright, I guess we'll fill out the names here for good times. Time Hughes.
Tim
Hughes. And I guess copying it is better. I didn't have to do this because I already told you, but... Cool. Alright,
so next up, Tim Hughes versus Luke Mulcahy.
I guess I'll skip ahead. Oh, here we go.
Here we are.
Actually, let's take a break, eh?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just add it in.
Pause the... Yeah. Alright, we're back after a short sesh of Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Rocking it out.
You haven't played in 5 years, you still got it. You crushed me.
Doing it. You sort of edging me out with a bit of Samus.
Yeah.
Projectile action. Anyway, we got this matchup here, two handsome gentlemen. We got Tim Hughes on the left and Luke Mulcahy, my co-commentator.
Yeah, yours truly on the right.
Rocking out with his top 8 playmat from WMCQs.
That's Tim Hughes.
It's Tim Hughes' one, you don't even have one.
No, we actually, I'm not sure if I top 8 at a WMCQ. Anyway, the playmats help to focus the camera.
Sure, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just a better contrast than white table.
Well, you'll have one of these ones on the left as well, at least. The top 16 for the PPTQs. I think it's really great that they gave out a top 16 playmat rather than a top 8 one for that event.
Yeah.
I think it really does mean something. Like, if you top 16 that, like, you got pretty close to a Pro Tour invite. And you probably, you're walking away with, like, a bit of memorabilia is a good thing.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm on Affinity, as I've mentioned multiple times. Tim Hughes is on Red-Green Tron. He's been rocking it for forever, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, he... picked it up, liked it, and then didn't put it down ever.
Yeah. And he's foiled it out as well as a testament to his commitment to the deck.
Yeah,
almost like a wedding ring.
You got to put a ring on it. If you like it, put a foil on it.
Yeah. He was complaining about how hard it is to find Japanese foiled Tron pieces.
Yeah, first world problems.
That's exactly what everyone said.
Yeah. You know, I know that Tim's a big fan of like Russian foils and all that business.
Yeah.
Which, thankfully, I'm not. You know, my life's a little bit cheaper.
Yep. Yeah. All right, Tim finished higher than me in the Swiss. So he'll be on the play, which is critical in this matchup.
Yeah, the play really matters a lot. It might seem that Affinity would be very good against Red Green Tron because they normally have a problem with aggro. But they do interact with your kill turn, and when they interact with you, they tend to get everything.
Yeah, it's all O-Stone.
Yeah, it's all O-Stone, so like you don't have anything survive that. Yeah. So it's an interesting match, really. I played a bit of it, I think, last year testing with Tim at Sneak and Show, and he definitely knows it very well. He showed me the ropes of it, and after crushing me for a little while, taught me what I needed to do to stay in it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, O-Stone gets blown on turn 4, and Affinity's kill turn is turn 4. So if I'm on the play, I get in before he O-Stones me, and vice versa, I lose all my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a great start here.
Yeah, that's a really good start. That's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah.
Darksteel Citadel. Doing work. The only artifact land. Well, that is legal.
Yeah. And Tim's setting up for turn 3 Tron, which could mean Khan or Wormcoil.
Yeah, any number of things. Once you got Tron online, it's just infinite filtering and just...
Yeah.
And the deck's really good when it always has Tron.
Yeah. So Affinity's game against the turn 4 O-Stone is a manland, because O-Stone doesn't hit manlands. So, and you have to have a Ravager. So you can sack all the guys that would die to the O-Stone and lump them onto a manland, and hopefully the consequent swing is enough to get there.
So in this position, you're looking at setting up a 6/6 Blinkmoth Nexus. Is that basically what your plan is if he's got the O-Stone?
Yeah, well, I want to get as much damage as I can in before he hits the O-Stone. Now here I have a decision. I remember tanking a lot in this matchup, so spoilers, be prepared for some tanking, just deal with it.
Yeah, I think anyone who knows that Luke Mulcahy is playing in this match should know that they're gonna be subject to some very well thought decisions, a little bit of tanking and a little bit of slow play.
Yeah, lots of thought doesn't necessarily mean correct. But so right now I'm trying to maximize my damage, so I have to balance between hitting for as much damage this turn versus next turn when I get the Signal Pest Battlecry trigger. I didn't actually work it out at the time, despite how much I thought about it.
Well, I think that you would break even on sacrificing the Ornithopter this turn.
Yes.
So if you sacrifice it this turn, you get the damage this turn versus the damage the turn after.
Yeah.
I probably would sacrifice it, to be honest, but I don't know what's in your hand, so...
Yeah.
It definitely makes a difference.
Yeah. No, you're right. 'Cause if we assume that he has O-Stone turn 4, then sacrifice, or if he... Yeah, then you can assume that sacking the Ornithopter now versus next turn is the same.
Well, if that's a risk that you're running, I think it's probably correct. This is a very complex match for everyone listening at home. Affinity, at the best of times, has a lot of decisions to make, and it turns out that in this match, all of the decisions that Tron make you do things that are different.
Yeah. I mean, it's why it's a deck.
Yeah, it's certainly a thing.
So I'll just point out that Tim sneakily swapped his Antiquities mine for a foil 8th edition mine.
Oh, okay.
If anyone was wondering what happened there.
Yeah, you got to have all those foils lined up. They do extra damage when they're foil, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Anyway, as we were saying.
Yeah, I mean, so basically each different thing that Tron can have against Affinity makes you play differently. So you got Khan, which is an issue. Some lists run Ugin, which is a different sort of issue, even though they're both Planeswalkers. Wormcoil Engine is its own unique set of issues, and Oblivion Stone is also a problem.
Yeah. Arcane Ravager seems to be a great answer to all three.
It's really good against all of them, yeah. So Arcane Ravager is 100% the most important card in this match on either side of the table.
Yeah.
And it's, having one on turn 1 is... can't have had Tim being that happy about it.
Yeah, I feel like I should, with the turn 1 Ravager, it's almost like I've been on the play, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's an insane sort of start. It's one of the things that Affinity is also known for, is that the ability just to have huge mana efficiency. So you got all these, what ends up being mana elves, so 0 cost Mana Knight plus a Springleaf Drum, or the Mox Opals, which are basically, Moxen. Really, in this deck, they're just actually Moxen in Modern, which is just ridiculous.
No O-Stone from Timmy's hand. He finds it off the Ancient Stirrings. So
this has got you thinking here?
Yeah. So now, basically I have to do as much damage as I can whilst still having the ability to hold up a mana to put all my counters onto a Nexus. And, yeah.
Yeah, so he's ready to crack it next turn, and he's still on a healthy 17 life points. So what you want, I think, is you would want to... I think you've got a Glimmer Void in hand, and that's really good for you here. Being able to have that extra mana up so you can actually attack with the Blinkmoth Nexus this turn.
I've got 2 Glimmer Void in hand.
Sure.
Through an O-Stone, you often find yourself with the chance of your Glimmer Voids getting killed end of turn.
Yep.
But in this case, I have a Darksteel Citadel, so...
Yeah, that sort of takes care of that issue.
Yeah.
Another important card in the matchup against that specific threat. I guess it's an answer, but it actually feels a lot like a threat when you're playing against it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. O-Stone was just off the map. Like, it was played in like mono black in standard.
Yep.
And then didn't get played until... What turned Tron into a deck? Karn, right? Karn's printing.
Yeah, I think Karn was...
Or maybe Ancient Stirring's printing, I don't know.
No, Karn came afterwards. And I think it sort of rocked up. I remember playing a PPTQ in the modern format, which is the first one we had in Melbourne. And it had turned up at some event the week before. And then a bunch of people decided to turn up with that event. And it was one of the biggest appearances, and it was probably the biggest story of that season. I have no idea who the deck designer was, but it was really just not on the map before that. So
yeah, the Expedition map.
The Expedition map, exactly.
That's another card that made it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of Zendikar and Scars of Mirrodin cards.
So here's like a pure math problem for me. I'm trying to make sure that I can deal as much damage this turn, still, and then have my Nexus big enough to kill him the following turn.
So at the moment, it looks like you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 damage this turn, and you have the ability to do a 9th point by sacrificing your Signal Pest.
Yes, I could sack my Darksteel Citadel as well, but then I'll lose my Glimmer Void to a Oblivion Stone Crack the next turn.
Yeah, which can't be good for you.
Well, it's okay because I have another land in hand.
Yeah, okay. And if you crack the Oblivion Stone, you'll have the mana up to activate your Blinkmoth Nexus, which is what you'd want to do in that case anyway.
Yeah. But I don't have to sack the Citadel to get lethal.
As it turns out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can get 2, 6, 7, 8, 9 here, which put it into 8.
Yep.
And then my Nexus will be 1...
Shouldn't it be a 6/6?
My Nexus will be 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so you do sack the Darksteel Citadel.
Oh, okay, sure.
I think that's correct, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems correct to me.
I have to do it to get lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Because you get an additional point this turn.
Yeah.
Plus the additional point that you need to make it a 7/7 the following turn.
Yep.
That's why Affinity's a hard deck.
Yep.
It's a lot of pure maths and a lot of decisions based on that pure math. So no surprise that players like Frank Carsten favour it.
Yeah, that guy loves maths.
That guy does love math.
Boom. Alright, all onto the Nexus. All aboard.
Toot toot.
All aboard the Blinkmoth Nexus.
This is just too good value for Tim. He can't, like, think... I mean, he has to do it pretty much anyway, so he might as well...
He's got the Ghost Quarter.
He's got the Ghost Quarter. Yeah, Tim Hughes runs a couple of Ghost Quarters, which is how he differs from the normal deck, because he feels that it is infinitely more important to have in this particular match.
Yeah.
Exactly this match. And he's not wrong.
Yeah. And I lose my Glimmer Void as well. So basically, I had to hope that he didn't have the Ghost Quarters, and that was my line.
Yep, I think you did all that you could, and it happens to be one of those situations where you're playing against someone who's decided to hate you out of the tournament, which is a legitimate choice for him.
Yeah,
I think he's. It seems to have resulted in quite a lot of success with this deck for Mr. Tim Hughes.
He's got Vandal Blast on the board too.
Yeah,
and Nature's Claim.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a unique situation for the Tron deck in that it's one of the only matches that you can fix with a few cards. In that, like, all the other ones really require you to already have a good matchup or hit a very specific piece of hate, so you need to pay 4, 5, 6 copies.
Yeah, Tron can dig so hard that yeah, and it's got the tutors for the Ghost Quarters.
The Ghost Quarters, the ability to choose the Ghost Quarters really makes a big difference here. I feel I've never had that much success playing Affinity against specifically Tim Hughes.
Yeah,
despite the fact that I feel the match is pretty fun, pretty good. It's fun. This is, I mean, there's still a match to play here, but basically we're waiting and seeing if Tim Hughes is going to make a mistake. Which seems unlikely.
For this, you mean like get himself a game loss or something?
Well, no, I mean like if he makes an error, like a gameplay error to lose himself this match, then that's a possibility. But resolving a worm coil there has the game pretty much locked up.
Yeah, I mean I need like a huge nexus or something. I'm getting that's coming from nowhere.
Yeah, this game's don't have the resources left.
Yeah, this game's over.
So he suckered you into that pretty well.
Yes, he did. I mean, I had to go for it. He had the O-Stone. What else could I do?
Yeah, I mean, the only other option you have is just not to commit that much to the board, but that's really not a winning line for this particular deck, so...
Yeah, he has the end game, so...
Yep, it's got the best end game in the business, which is hard-casting Emrakul.
Yeah. I was thinking about it, like, the night after, and
main deck Pyroclasms as well.
Yes, yeah. Like, that kind of has to do it to have enough answers.
Yep.
Like, you can't just rely on drawing the O-Stone every game. The Pyroclasm is kind of like the mini O-Stone in a way.
Yep, sure. I mean, it's a big commitment, and it's when you're sure you can go over the top of your opponents, those sort of cards become more legitimate.
Tim's doing the shuffle your sideboard in.
The whole sideboard, hey?
Yeah, he's prepared. Me on the other hand, I know what I sideboarded. On the play, I bring in a Blood Moon and 2 Goyfs for my Thoughtcasts. Basically, I have no good card to bring in. Like, Blood Moon isn't that great. On the play, it's okay because you can keep them off one turn of Tron.
Yep.
But on the draw, I take the Blood Moon out.
Sure.
And what are your thoughts on that?
I think that it's high enough impact that I would probably... I mean, you've only got one copy, right? I don't know. It's really hard to predict how good your mana is in any given game with Affinity. Sometimes you're casting turn 2 Blood Moon. Sometimes you don't see it until turn 5.
Yeah.
I would probably just want it all the time. I think because it's high enough impact and this match is not amazing. But at the same time, you still want to be able to preserve your attacking style, and when you're on the play, getting under your opponent is important. So
yeah.
It's hard to say. So in conclusion, I think I don't disagree so much as I don't know the answer myself. Yeah.
So Tim choosing not to include Sun Droplet, Boil.
That's Rending Volley. He just took out there. I think he takes out a he takes out like a Khan, and he takes out a Eye of Ugin.
Yeah, he doesn't need the Emrakul game plan.
Doesn't need the Emrakul game plan. That comes out as well. Yeah, and Khan is not amazing in this match.
He's fine.
He's fine, but once you've got high impact cards to bring in, he comes out and you're pretty happy.
Basically, he brings in Nature's Claims, Vandal Blast. I'm not sure if he has a 4 main deck Pyroclasm.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he has any extras in the board, but it's hard to say. He definitely he changes it up a bit, and couldn't tell you honestly. That was a Wormcoil Engine coming out just there.
Okay.
Obviously, he doesn't bring in cards like Boil, which do very little in this match, but I know have been big for Tim.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Ugin, not so good against the deck full of coloured guys.
Yeah, you've only got the plus ability really that's relevant.
Yeah.
Ugin's a powerful card, but repeatable Lightning Bolt really just doesn't get the job done fast enough when you can't see it until turn 4.
Yeah. So, I've got the play this game. If I had the play last game, it was mine.
You would have won it, yep, for sure.
So, finishing higher in the Swiss is huge.
It really is important for some decks, and I think that it's something that's really become more obvious to people as this system is becoming more entrenched. It was still new this time last year, pretty much. People, it was still how we did it, but judges still announced it at the start of tournaments and that sort of thing. This year, no one's really announcing it anymore. It's sort of just operations as usual.
It's a default, yeah.
It's the default. And people with that have learned how to negotiate it a bit better. And there's people who, make draws, play in their last round, things like that, just entirely based on the deck they're playing and how that interacts with being on the play in the top 8.
Yeah.
I know Ty Solons in particular has been someone I've talked to a lot about it, and he is a fan of aggro decks and makes a lot of choices based on a lot of tournament choices in the last couple of rounds of the tournament based on how he thinks he's going to be able to get into the top half of the top 8.
Yeah, I just farted, I'm sorry.
For those playing at home, it smells gross.
Yeah. So I mean,
that came up for you guys, right?
It did, yeah. Ty Solons, we're good mates, and we worked it out once we thought of the idea that because it's only best at top 4 Q in the RPTQs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you finish first or fourth.
No, because you're not going to play each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you guys were both on decks that really wanted to play. You were playing Red Green Dragons, and he was playing Ataka Red.
Yeah.
The new version of Rabble Red in Standard.
Yeah.
And you were matched in the final round, and Ty, who was at that point 5-0 in a 6-round tournament, decided that his best chance and your best chance was for Ty to concede to you.
Yep.
So you both finished atop of Swiss, and you were unassailable on the first and second position.
Yeah, we were guaranteed to not play each other.
Guaranteed not to play each other.
Yeah.
Which neither of you wanted because it's a really unsure match.
Yep.
And also both guaranteed to be on the play. And both queued for the Pro Tour.
It worked out.
It worked out very, very well.
good times for Team Ty Luke.
Yeah.
Alright, so Tim's taking a mulligan here. Down to 6. 4, 5, 6.
Very deliberate drawing of the hand.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's keep, so...
Yeah.
You begin with a Springleaf Drum.
Yes.
Which is one of your favourite plays, is the Springleaf Drum, nothing else.
Yeah, I do it heaps.
A lot of people will lead with a Volt Scourge there, where you like the drum.
Yeah, I mean, the chance that you draw a Memnite or an Ornithopter ramps you to 3 mana on turn 2, rather than if you play the Volt Scourge first.
Yep.
And because I play Master Ethereums, a few more 3-drops than most Affinity decks, so...
Yeah, I mean, it certainly works.
It's circumstantial, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. That's what Magic's about. Making the most of your circumstances. And we see you tanking over which 2 drop you're going to lead with.
I mean, if technically I could play the Ravager first to play on Gut Shot, but my Goldfish takes over here and I lead with Overseer, so the Ravager's up to block, even though it's completely irrelevant in this matchup.
Yeah, I don't know why you were thinking about it at all.
I was just nervous. It's a long day. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've certainly been in that position before. I'm thinking about something that's quote unquote strictly better when it's just strictly irrelevant.
Yeah. But I've got another great start here.
Yeah, turn 2 Ravager. And Overseer's a good card as well. It's going to get you out of Pyroclasm range pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Knowing that Tim doesn't have it here probably helps your cause quite a bit.
Yeah. Overseer's a funny card in this matchup. He sees a Pyroclasm off the Ancient Stirrings. He can't take it, obviously. Because if they have the Pyroclasm, Overseer is trash.
Yeah.
But if they don't, it's probably going to get in for a good 6 damage or something.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. Seeing your sweet Casio wristwatch.
That's Daiso, the Japanese bargain store.
Daiso.
That shop is the bomb. I bought that watch for $2.80 at Daiso.
Is it a Casio?
No, it's
no.
It's called a blue something. I think a blue light watch, despite being green. They come in assorted colours. I highly recommend them. $2.80. You can't lose.
There's a hot word on. I'm buying your next wristwatch.
Yeah. Alright, so I got a Nexus and a Ravager. Once again, I got the Ravager, the important Ravager, and I'm hoping to get a huge Nexus and kill him. Post-border comes a bit trickier because of the Nature's Claims, but we'll see how we go.
Well, he's tapped out right now, but
you can't
actually kill him. So So we got the Arcbound Revenger there. So you got 4, I guess, 5, 6, 7, 8 counters. So you're 1 off right now.
Yeah, I can only get 9 poison.
You can only get 9 poison, which is just
frustrating.
Pretty close. If you had any 0-cost artifact here, it would actually kill him.
Yeah.
That's a power of affinity, though.
Yeah.
Even getting that close in one swing is pretty ridiculous. So.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Dang. You're still disappointed that you don't one-shot him.
Yeah. If he didn't have the Nature's Claim on the Overseer, it would have been lethal.
It would have been, more than lethal, actually.
Yeah.
You would have almost done it with regular damage, actually.
I think this is the longest tank of the match, so just be ready.
Be ready. Okay.
Maybe go get a drink or something.
So look, you like to be very definite with your maths.
Yeah. It's more like I'm selfish in the sense that legally I have the time, so I want to be sure, and I doubt myself. So I want to check again.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I mean, the maths is complicated. There's a lot of moving parts a lot of the time with this deck. It's stuff like having to turn your Blink Moth Nexus into a guy and then sacrificing it and that sort of stuff, so it's very easy to miscount.
Yeah.
I think it's prudent to operate in this way a lot of the time, especially with decks like this. There are obviously times when everyone can tank and then realise that they sort of just wasted a bit of time.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I mean, I've been playing for years.
Yeah.
But I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Also, like, I'm just throwing it out there that, like, playing fast is cool. You know what I mean? And that it's and it is cool. But
you sound very old right now. Saying.
But I think winning's more important than looking cool. Come on.
Well, I mean, I can just do both. So.
You are Wolfie Horrigan.
I'm Wolfie Horrigan. Why choose?
Okay, so do I sack the Ravager, or do I have a backup in case he has some artifact kill and maintain all my counters?
I mean, I would like to hazard the opinion that it is strictly better to not sacrifice him here.
Or if I don't sack it, I miss out on 2 damage.
Oh, to get this one?
Yeah.
I think it's a Senton?
Yeah.
Right, okay, sorry, I thought you were talking about sacking it onto the Inkmoth Nexus rather than...
Oh, no.
No, I think you're pretty all in at this point, you might as well get it in.
Yeah. I mean, if next turn he has... He Ancient Stirring for the... What did he find off that Ancient Stirrings?
No, I missed it, I'm sorry.
Anyway. Yeah. So, let's say he has some artifact kill next turn. Then I still can put on the Inkmoth Exit. So the chance that he has 2 artifact kills to kill both Ravagers is like really low, and that's why I go all in on the Ravager.
Yep, I think that's fair. We have an actual poison counter here, going to 1. Yeah, I mean the hands that sort of crush you with this line are something like having Nature's Claim Ghost Quarter.
Yes.
For example, is a combination of cards that you really don't want to see here.
Yeah.
But the chances of him having it are quite low, and we see him play his land there, and that's the game almost.
Yeah. I suppose if I keep the Ravager around, the second Ravager that is, then I don't die to Nature's Claim Ghost Quarter. But he's on 15, and I'm not sure if that reduces his clock or not. We'll see. So I've got Glimmer Void and Steel Overseer in hand. If I go for it here, I lose to Nature's Claim. That is to put all the counters on the Inkmoth Nexus for lethal.
Yep. And of course, Tim knowing that's going to make you do it.
And I mean, I don't have to go for it because the following turn, I still have the... you can't kill both next turn.
Yeah, I think your board position has a lot of utility in that you can activate many different things, put counters different places. You don't even have to put the counters on the Inkmoth Nexus. You can put it on the Blinkmoth Nexus at this point if you get the 7 damage in this turn. So it's difficult in the sense that you have a lot of options, most of which are going to win you the game. And the fact that he needs to have such a high combination of cards to have any outs here is both unlikely and also I think you would have seen like a bunch of stuff from him if you had it at this point. Like, he doesn't. You can't put him on Pyroclasm. He might have Nature's Claim, but I think if he had a Ghost Quarter, he would have played it there, and I think that would have been the same with an Expedition map. So, but he needs to keep. This is one of the problems with the red green Tron deck is that it needs to keep its red and green source up here, and it doesn't have that many in the deck. So if he wants to cast something like a Sylvan Scrying, which could theoretically answer the Inkmoth Nexus by going and getting a Ghost Quarter, he couldn't keep up a Nature's Claim as well.
Yeah.
So the 2 spells in a turn, or 2 relevant interactions in a turn element of that deck is pretty difficult.
So I think I've got locked here. I mean, O-Stone, he loses. Karn, he loses. Unless
so he needs Karn Nature's Claim.
He needs Karn Nature's Claim to win.
Alright, so he exiles the Arcbound Ravager. Or moves to exile the Arcbound Ravager with the -3.
Yeah, and I don't have to sack the Overseer here. I just have to get the Inkmoth Toad 9/9. Yeah. Because I can pump with the Nexus. Is that the idea?
Yep. So if you can make an 8/8, it represents 9 damage. Also, you tell me.
Yeah. I mean, if I sack the Ravager here, onto the Nexus.
Oh, you do it onto the Steel Overseer.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, well, it's lethal anyway, so...
You might as well.
Yeah. And he doesn't play Keeper of the Lens, so...
Keeper of the Lens. An effective stratagem.
Yep.
It's interesting here that the line you took earlier with the attack with an Inkmoth Nexus instead of a Blinkmoth Nexus might have been wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Having him on less life rather than infect might have been a thing, but you were cutting off by doing that. You were cutting off the one-shot ability of your deck. So
yeah.
It's everything's got a cost in this deck. It's really hard to play.
Yeah. All right, so breaking it even 1-1.
1-1 splits it.
Yeah.
I think Tim's probably pretty happy with the split going into game 3. I think he would have taken that from the start of the match.
Yeah, definitely.
Knowing that he's on the play.
Alright, so does Tim make a change post board? I know I take out my Blood Moon after some deliberation.
Yeah, I mean that one again is a very hard choice. Blood Moon is a powerful effect, but if you don't, it's a 3-cost coloured spell in a deck that's basically designed to cast 1 and 2 cost colours things. So
yep.
It's a real cost. It's a real cost. I don't really even know what the correct strategy is here, and I would like to imagine that there's a card out there that Affinity players haven't really found that's really good against Tron.
I haven't thought of it yet.
Yeah, if it exists, I haven't seen it, but it might. It could be out there. So
if I think of it, I'm not going to tell it on stream because Tim will definitely watch this. And yeah, next season's Modern, and no doubt I'll verse him in multiple PPTQ top 8s.
Yeah, it could just be the old Tortees, but that's a bit of a boring answer. Yeah. So I'd like to think that it's something else. But
I want something a bit more proactive. I don't know.
Yeah, Tortees is a difficult one. Yeah. But yeah, I would keep the Blood Moon in, I think, personally, but at the same time, I don't think you're wrong by taking it out. So, I mean, these are just some of the decisions that go into this deck, and it's really difficult to know what it's going to look like in any given game, what way it's going to play out.
Yeah.
How do you like your chances in the third game at this point? Like, you were there, so you were sitting there.
Yeah.
How were you feeling?
Basically, I'm hoping for a turn 4 kill hand, and him have no O-Stone. And I want a Ravager to not lose to turn 2 Pyroclasm. So there's a few things that I'm asking for.
And jumping through a few hoops?
Yeah.
So not confident going in here, or were you confident?
I wasn't confident. Tim thrashed me in the Swiss, and yeah. And he plays the deck well.
Yeah, he's got that flowchart master, I think.
Yeah.
The Tron flowchart. It's often called an unskilled deck, but I think people again, it's like Affinity. It's also called an unskilled deck, and I think people just really underrate how many different options and how many different lines of play you can go for.
Yeah, I was watching one of those like Channel Fireball top 8 blah blah videos, and they put Affinity up there as one of the hardest decks to play, and I kind of got a little buzz out of that because I agree.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult. Yeah. I mean, you get a lot of utility, but it comes at a cost.
Yeah. Tim's got a Conspiracy Nature's Claim in his hand, so he's probably going to keep this. At least 2 Tron pieces and an E-map, so...
I have a question. Is that Nature's Claim foil?
I'm not sure, but it's from Conspiracy.
Ooh, Tim Hughes. If you don't have a foil one, I'm going to make fun of you next time I see you.
No doubt he would have hunted down the particular forest art that he wanted as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People love their modern decks like that. It's kind of cool. I like seeing that people put that much effort into building exact 60 cards.
Yeah.
Like, literal 60 cards that they want to look at every time they play it.
Yeah. Look at me, I'm stressing out. Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. I remember this hand. Okay, so on the draw, it's a 1-lander, and my hand consists of... I think it's got a Ravager in it, and it's got, like, multiple 1-drops.
I'm looking at 2 Volt Scourges and an Inkmoth Nexus there.
Yeah, and I
throws it
back. I mean, like, on the draw, 1-lander with, you know, multiple 1-drops, and I think it had 2 2-drops as well. Like, if I draw the land, I'm sweet.
You're a land,
I've
yeah.
got 2 draws.
I mean, that's why I mem that in there as well. So you certainly had action. It's just you didn't really seem to have any of those combinations of cards which you need to kill Tron with. It's almost like a combo deck in this match, really. Where the amount of combo pieces is very broad, but like you do need to see a combination of cards which results in a win.
Yeah. I think the way it worked out is an Opal or a Springleaf Drum off the top would not get me there, so I needed an untapped land, which I had 16 others in my deck. 16 out of 53 cards, not the greatest chance on the draw, so...
And you mulligan pretty well in this match as well, right? Like, you're pretty all in no matter what.
Yeah.
So going down a card doesn't really cost you that much percentage compared to the percentage of trying to find that land.
Yeah, the hand I ended up keeping, as you can see, is heavy on lands and low drops. I haven't got the finisher.
Yep. But you're prepared to take the risk on finding it?
I took the risk, and I'm hoping to hit off the top either like a Plating, an Overseer, a Ravager, or a Master, all of which I play 4 of. Even like a Thought cast off the top. Oh no, I boarded that out. So one of those 4, like, so I guess it's the same math, like 16 out of 53. So
yeah, I think you can wait longer here though, because if you don't hit the land on the second turn, then you're just straight dead.
Yeah.
Whereas you can hit on the third turn here, and still have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
And, you know, drawing some things like Cranial Plating are going to be good, even if he has a Pyroclasm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas just not hitting that land ever is just going to be terrible. You're going to straight lose, and you know it.
Yeah. I remember I didn't commit the Ornithopter turn 1 either, because if he has Pyroclasm, all my guys die, and the only advantage to playing a turn 1 Ornithopter is if I have a turn 2 Master and I get 1 more damage in. Like, such a tiny chance for the high risk of losing the Pyroclasm, so...
Yeah, again, that's some more maths.
Yeah.
That you got to do while you're playing.
Yeah.
We have the second Blinkmoth Nexus for you. Still sitting with that Ornithopter in hand.
Yeah.
I think you've got an additional Volt Scourge, a Darksteel Citadel, and a... well, I almost could have there. Glimmer Void?
Not sure. Yeah, it is. It is.
Like
Yeah.
to me. Yep.
Yeah.
And you're just happy with the 3 damage there?
No, I commit the Volt Scourge as well.
Oh,
And-
Luke. Are you cheating?
How so?
You already played land this turn, haven't you?
Oh, really?
Cheating on camera.
Jeez.
Luke Fazzolari.
God.
How dare you?
Look at those skills.
Oh my god, on camera as well. That's how everyone gets caught, people.
Wow.
Some people are just addicted to cheating.
Man.
I really hope you lose now.
Yeah. Far out. I wonder if I, like, hypothetically, I lose. I'm just going to throw it out there. But hypothetically, if I won...
And we were sitting here doing this with you.
I wonder if I could have, like, given Tim... No, it's a semi...
No, it's not how it works, unfortunately. You probably should apologise to him at some point about that, though.
I'm going to call him now. You just keep commentating.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so Tim actually has the O-Stone on turn 3 here, which is exactly what he wants to see. Luke's sitting there with Glimmer Void, Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter in hand, so it looks like you did not come up correctly on finding that finisher after all, which is good. I'm really glad that you got a little crushed here. Committing the Springleaf Drum to the board. It seems interesting to me, actually. I don't think you really needed to do that.
No, that was dumb, yeah.
And then here we have an activation and another activation, trying to sink 4 damage in right here.
Yeah.
Put the clock on, make sure he has to crack the O-Stone, but you really have no B plan, and you're looking bad here.
Tim didn't pick up. I think he's at work. I mean, like, Jimbo's over my shoulder in the corner as the judge.
Yeah.
So...
Well, he's looking at another match as well at this point, unfortunately, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Can't catch everything.
Yeah. Far out. Anyway. Yeah.
Luke Chapin.
Yeah, okay. Chapin set a precedent. It's okay.
It's okay now? Yeah. You can do it and not be the biggest cheater in the world. What a cheat.
Gotta do what you gotta do, Sam.
And we were friends and everything. Alright.
Yeah.
Cheaters never prosper, people.
Yeah.
If you're at home and thinking about cheating, just don't.
Yeah, the Faz ended up getting 18 months.
Yeah, we had that announcement yesterday. James Fazolari, famous cheater, which I've been calling him before he was a cheater. We're friends. Me and him are friends. Yeah. I still speak to him and all that. But he got 18 months for lapping a Whisperwood Elemental at GP Auckland.
Yeah, I haven't got Whisperwood in my deck at this stage.
You have one in your lap, though. That's the real question.
Keep it in my little mobile phone pocket. I don't know. At all times. Never know. So, yeah, I mean, like, he swept me here.
And we have Nature's Claim. Get rid of the...
It doesn't look foil to me, Sam, so...
Tim... That's okay, I'll forgive you in light of the fact that Luke's a big cheater. So.
Did you say that you had a foil one to trade him?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. You were just gonna tell him off.
Yeah, I mean, like, he loves foils way more than I do, so I just that loudly judge him to his face. Because he'll care and I won't. But I'm just that kind of guy.
I mean, at this point, there's nothing I can draw, really. I need Tim to have all lands in hand. And
yeah, so Cranial Plating represents a bit of damage, but it's really not going to be enough. The Khan Liberated is going to be enough to close this game out. I believe that Tim's probably doing the math on whether Khan Liberated is actually good to commit to the board here, and it seems like it is, and you would probably go up with it. I would think, but he's the master, not me, so...
Yeah. Well, plating next turn would be able to kill a Khan that's gone... No,
that's ticked down, yeah.
It's ticked up. Oh, no, not with the Ghost Quarter in play. So.
Yeah, no, there's a Ghost Quarter.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't think that's true anyway, is it? Because it needs to go do 10.
Sorry. I thought it would go up to 7, but...
No, it goes up to... It goes up to 10, and that thing's got a lot of loyalty.
Jeez.
Going down, which is probably worth the risk in this position. And you commit a Bleakmoth Nexus to the board off the top of your deck, and are looking quite glum on the personal camera there.
Yeah.
Still not quite aware of how big of a cheater you are. I'm going to keep mentioning this.
All right.
So you know.
Yeah, I deserve it. Yeah.
But no, and people make honest mistakes. It happens. Lands are one of the ones that's it's very difficult to keep a hold of what you've done and what you haven't done in a turn sometimes. So I think it is an honest mistake people have made at every level. Yeah,
I mean, like in that scenario, I know it's no excuse, but in that scenario, there was absolutely no benefit whatsoever.
Yeah, it really didn't do anything for you. But
yeah. I know it's beside the point. Yeah. All right, so I'm in misery right now.
Yeah.
Not misery, like, you know, you just lose a magic, it's magic, so...
I'd like to just draw attention to how bored Tim Hughes looks at the moment as he crushes you out of this tournament.
No, he's loving it.
Bored Hughes? Yeah, he's barely contained excitement. That's what's going on there.
Audacity of Hughes.
The audacity of Hughes.
Yeah. Do you think there's some kind of connection between tanking and robots and affinity? You know, like robotic tank.
I mean, I feel like I'd make a really good joke if you thought of it beforehand. Probably. I don't know. We'll work on it. We'll get back to you with that.
Yeah, okay.
We'll go into the tanker of the tank joke.
Go, get him. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, onboard tricks.
Yeah.
Not onboard tricks.
Oh, I got to reveal I haven't got the island in hand by searching for it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got you, Tim. Yeah, I had basically my deck all prepared for that ghost quarter.
You're someone who often doesn't look for that island when you get pathed or ghost quartered or whatever for various reasons, mainly tech edge.
Yeah,
but other
tech edge
things
is a big one. Yeah. And if you're so far ahead that doesn't matter, then you just don't get the island.
We have the top of the dice container here representing a fate counter from Oblivion Stone.
Khan's fate has been reforged. That's not even a pun because he wasn't in Fate Reforged. But he is in Mod Masters too.
Zing bang. Yeah, he is. Thank God, finally.
Yeah.
He's back with a vengeance. More liberated than ever.
Khan's not a vengeful being, I don't think.
Oh, I don't know. He's pretty angry in this position here, I think. He's trapped by the Thracians. That's no good.
Look at that Value Stone killing off Memnite and Ornithopter.
We have this Dark Steel Citadel getting out of the way, so your Glimmer Void is going to disappear at end of turn.
Yeah.
And really, all we're waiting for is a concession from you. And yeah, that's it.
Meanwhile, I'll just sip on my White Russian here.
Yeah, the White Russian. Doing well.
Yeah. Trying to be the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I think you're the regular size Lebowski. That's what's going on. Even Ghost Quarter's your island. That's unfair.
Get out of the game, Luke. What are you doing?
Second main, Ornithopter. Pass priority.
Yeah.
Pass priority. Got to come back.
Yeah. I think I actually said, like, your turn. Oh, I mean, Ornithopter.
Because why not at this point?
And Tim's like, sure. I'm not going to call a judge on that one.
Yeah, I'll allow it this time.
I remember, like, realizing that I'm dead, and I'm like, why am I hanging this game? I'm like, oh, maybe he'll, make a misplay and get a game loss. I'm like, that's a terrible reason to stay in this game. Concede.
Yeah. Oh, and then we have, so that's the match, basically, as we knew a little bit a while ago. I suppose you knew as of this exact moment on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Hughes taking that one 2-1.
Yeah.
The game's going on the play there.
Yeah,
demonstrating the fact that you probably want to bash for placing with Affinity in these tournaments.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind for the upcoming season.
I'm sure it's going to be very relevant. Next season is Modern. They're no longer allowing the choice between Standard and Modern for the constructed portions of pre-PTQs.
Yeah, you have to follow whatever the PT format is.
Yep, and now the RPTQs are moving format as well. They were announced as all standard, and now they're going to move, depending on season, back to the same sort of style that the PTQs were. Yeah. Which I'm a huge fan of, and I'm pretty excited to go and play some Sealed in Sydney.
Yeah. Oh, actually, correction. PPTQs can still be limited.
Oh, they can always be limited. Yeah. It's just the constructed format that has to follow season.
Yeah.
And the RPTQ is always the dictated format.
Yeah.
This one's going to be interesting. There's no draft at all. It's all sealed. So there's no draft in the top 8. You just play your sealed deck for your Swiss and your first round in top 8.
The PT?
No, the RPTQ.
Oh.
Yeah. I checked out the Wizards website, which had the details, and unless they change it before then, that's how it's going to work.
I suppose because it's only top 4. It's
only top 4.
Do you think they did it because it's a wasted sealed product, or it's kind of
I don't think that's the point. I think it's
you have to practice like 2 formats effectively for one match of the whole tournament.
Of the whole tournament, you'd have to draft well.
Yeah.
And I think that it's the opinion of Wizards that sealed is a legitimate format.
Yeah.
And that they would like it supported, and they would like you to think that it's a reasonable way to decide a tournament.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
I hugely agree. Yeah. Hugely agree. A lot of people think it's really luck based, and I think those people are normally bad at sealed.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.